Hello, everyone. We're here only hearing my voice. I am Joey Rogate, one of the hosts of 1001 by 1, Best Picture Cast. You've heard me a lot. But today is very different, very special, and I am very appreciative and grateful that today is happening. For the first time, we're going to be releasing this on 1001 by 1, as well as on the feed Best Picture Cast. Make sure you listen to all those podcasts if you're listening. But we have special guests. We have very exciting guests. We have people here who made something that I have become a big fan of and really respect. So I want to, anytime we can talk more about how great movies are and people making things, I think that's important. We are here with the creators of the short film Largo, written and directed by Max Bourgogne Moore, Salvatore Scarpa, and produced by Charles Mounier. Gentlemen, I hope I got your names right. I've been practicing. Welcome.
Close enough.
You
Perfect.
got them right. You got mine right. I'm the one that usually gets messed up more than anyone else.
Oh, really? See, yours was the only one I wasn't stressed about.
Well, that's good. That's good.
So-
That's a first. Joey? Can I just add one person that we mustn't forget to mention, because you said produced by Charles Mounier, but this was also produced by Rashid Sabitri, who I should have mentioned earlier, who couldn't be here today. He's a busy man. He's in Paris doing something, but I just want to make sure he gets his mention as well.
Beautiful. Thank you. If you all could introduce yourselves real quick, just so our listeners could get used to your voices.
Yeah, I'm Max. I'm one of the writer-directors.
I'm Salvatore. I'm the other half of Max's brain, one of the other writer-directors of Largo.
And I'm Charles. I'm one of the producer on Largo.
Beautiful. And I watched Largo. Salvatore was nice enough to send me about a week ago. We were connected by our friend Andrew Corns at Rev Almanac. And I sent a ridiculous email while crying after. And Salvatore was nice enough to still want to talk to me. So I appreciate that very much. But the short film we're talking about is called Largo. A young Syrian refugee living in the UK without his parents decides to build a boat and sail home to find them. So where I want to start very briefly is, how did you all connect to then start this? Because I'm going to assume that this was not a brief project, that there was time and care, because the film shows time and care and thoughtfulness. So where is the nexus of it?
It wasn't brief. We first wrote the script 8 years ago.
Okay, wow.
And shortly after that, sent it to Charles and Rashid, and then took a long time for it to come together. But Salv and I first met when we were kids. We were 11 years old, about the age of the character in the film.
Yeah, we've known each other for a very long time.
That's amazing.
So you could say this film took us 20 years to make. But, I think 8 years ago for the script, and then really it sort of got its act together. We started finding money and supporters for the project and crew and cast about 2 years ago.
Okay, wow. That's amazing that you guys have been 20 years. That's so cool, especially because, Best Picture Cast, it's pretty much we've all more or less known each other for 25 years, so in different iterations. So yeah. I think that's really cool. So 8 years ago you wrote the script. Where did the initial idea come from?
The simple answer to that question, because there's a whole history behind it, but essentially, when the refugee crisis became a big topic in the media in the UK, and there was a lot of demonization of refugees, we started to notice people that we knew as very welcoming and friendly show that they weren't that friendly and welcoming to people who needed refuge, who were escaping war or persecution. So there was a big upset that we both felt with people we knew, and this kind of want to try and reawaken some empathy from people we thought differently of. So it was kind of a response to that. And sadly, it's become ever more relevant as time's gone on. There was a period where, when this film was, I guess you could say, when it was greenlit, that there was a little hope that felt like this film may no longer be relevant, and it was like, okay, cool. So then it'll be a look back on this period of time, and in actual
How
fact,
wrong we were.
how wrong we were.
Yeah,
It's continued to feel more relevant, and right now it feels extremely important.
Yeah, in the UK it feels like more important now than before, probably.
yeah. I mean, brief times of hope, but it's everything you said, and I can't imagine watching this and not building empathy, but seeing where, I mean, I'm in America, so we have our own horrific things going on right now with immigration and refugees as well. So, you not specific Syria, but we all know what the horror is going on. So I think I very much reacted to this film, and everything you're saying I'm connecting to. Unfortunately, seeing people who you thought were one way react to people who are in need with everything but helping is always very upsetting. How does it feel to release this into the world? Right, you start with an idea, and you're doing something. I do a podcast for fun with my friends, right? Like, and there's anxiety releasing that. And what you all are doing is making a statement, I think, that, people with hearts agree with, but, a statement. How does it feel to then release that into the world, not only into the UK, but everywhere? And then, I mean, I'm in the US, so I will specifically ask into the US, where maybe the specific Syrian crisis isn't as noted because there's other things. So how does that, is there anxiety with it, or is it just, original point A is the purpose? So we want to.
So far, it's been good. Everywhere the film's played in the UK and around the United States, we've been at a few festivals there. The reaction has been very positive. People have connected with it in the same way you said, basically, that, they see the parallels with the problems in the US, or, people from elsewhere in the world had the same reaction, that everyone has a version of this problem.
Right.
But, we are sort of anxious because film festival audiences, the people that we're showing it to in the UK mostly, we know they sort of agree with us. Or if they're on the fence, they're leaning on our side of the fence. So we are anxious there will be this backlash, as there tends to be when you put something out into the world.
Yeah, especially things that have such a heavy political leaning. You may not think that this is a controversial thing to fight for, but it really is.
Sadly.
And yeah, it's kind of,
it hasn't hit yet, but we feel like it probably will, the bigger it gets,
as it expands more and more. Listen, and it's one of those things, I think, where when people have a reaction to things that seem obvious, it's always a reflection on them. But usually when it's a negative reaction to something seemingly obvious, they're never going to see that. So how do you, the idea of how do you break through to that? And I think, all respect in the world to you all, because I think the way to break through it is to put it in their face, right? Obviously not going to spoil your film, but the scene on the beach at the end with the life jackets, I don't know how you watch that and are not very strongly affected.
Yeah, I mean, really what we wanted to do with the film was sort of shift that, that heavy lifting you're referencing to the end of the film. Like, even after that, we have the stats right at the end.
Right.
So that for the first chunk of the film, it's a kid who's homesick and lonely and misses his parents, and he goes on this adventure. And sort of the politics is taken out of it. The audience just falls in love with this kid, Zach El-Sakari playing the lead role is so cute and so charming. And he goes on this kind of he builds a boat and he goes on an adventure. And it's the kind of thing that it's hard not to empathize with him. It's hard not to be invested in that.
And go on the ride.
You're along for the ride. So that when the stuff comes in at the end, hopefully people are on side and, I think it's just storytelling's a really powerful tool for winning hearts and minds if you can get people on side without realizing it.
Yeah,
Without
I completely agree with you, and I think you do that really well in this story, and this story is very well told. But you bring up Zach El Sakari. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hey, he won. He's 12 years old. He won Best Actor at a film festival in South Africa the other day. I
He
mean, a round of
deserves
applause
it.
for Zach El Sakari. Like, what a legend.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
He's skilled beyond his years, and my wife watched this with me last night. As I've watched this 3 times in the past couple days just to make
Thank
sure,
you.
and she watched it with me, and as she was also crying, she's like, where did they find this kid? So my questions are, how concerned were you about casting Musa? Because obviously, like everything Max you just said, we have to be fully with him. Casting him, did you know right away? And how is he so emotionally mature for his age?
yeah. I mean, it took a while. Well, I say it took a while. He was actually the first kid we saw, but
Wow.
we he's a friend of a friend of the producer. No, he's the child of a friend of the producer, and he did this incredible self tape, and we fell in love with him. We thought this is amazing. Let's not stick with the first person. Let's go have a look
Of
and see what
course.
else is out there. Because there were all sorts of things we were trying to consider at the time, and the role asks for a few things, not only the emotional maturity and the ability to speak Arabic, but also all the stuff on the water. So there were a lot of things that needed to be right with this kid. And as we went on to audition more kids, and we saw some amazing kids, our casting director Nick Hockaday took us up and down the country. We went around the UK just having a look and seeing who was out there. We just kept going back to Zach because, as you say, like he has this ability to feel like an old man in a kid's body, and to not do too much but say a lot at the same time. There's a lot going on in his eyes all the time, and just speaking to him, it was like speaking to an adult. And he turned up to his first meeting with us with all his notes written on his script, and he had ideas, and like some of the ideas were crazy. He was just like, what if now I do this? And we were like, yeah, Zach, okay, yeah, let's think about it, we might put it in. But like that enthusiasm is so rare, and in the end we knew that Zach was going to deliver a performance unlike any other person, really. Yeah.
And
Not
we're
not
very
to
lucky.
take away. I was going to say, not to take away from his talent as an actor. His mother, Huda Ishwafni, who plays his mother in the film, is also an extremely talented actress. So he has that sensibility to start with. But he's incredible.
100%.
Yeah, and
That's
Huda
very
was a big
cool.
help, both on screen for doing that cameo for us and behind the scenes, and keeping.
Yeah, it's a
him
good person to have involved, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
But because one of the things he does is the 2 times reading the note, one time when he's by himself, one time when he's not, and how he reacts differently to them, I think is something that you all, I'm sure, had to work with him, obviously, but he pulls it off in a way that's so believable. A kid who has this front to be strong, but then when he's by himself reading it, but then also this scene, where he's in the boat and the other kids come and he's like, no, stop, where he's like, oh, he's still a kid. And you see this whole person there that's, it's 18 minutes. It's really impressive.
Yeah,
Thanks.
he built like a real story, backstory to the character in a very short amount of time. And like I was talking about this with someone earlier on today. Tamsin Gregg, I don't know if you know of Tamsin before seeing her in Largo, the actress that plays his foster mother.
She's
Tamsin
in Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yes, it's Shaun of the Dead, and
Briefly,
very briefly. But yes, she here in the UK, she's a national treasure. I mean, she's a really well established and wonderful actor, and
yeah, she's in a lot of iconic sitcoms in the UK.
and he was so, obviously he didn't know Tamsin's work that
Right.
well. He knew she was an actor, but he was so relaxed around her, and he was able to create this beautiful relationship with her. On like they met the night before shooting. That
Oh
was
wow.
that was so it was so impressive, because any other kid would probably have a lot of sort of barriers with someone new, someone they don't
Of
know.
course.
Yeah, he
So
has like no nervous energy at all.
yeah,
Just you meet him for the
Confidence.
first time, and he is like a little adult in the body of a 10-year-old.
So my next question is then how much did he know of kind of what this was, and how do you protect, like physically you protect him? I'm sure there's rules and a million things, but how do you protect him emotionally with the heaviness of this story? Because the scene with him and Hakeem is one of my favorites every time I watch it. But did he fully know what everything was?
Great
And how do you
question.
protect him? Yeah.
that's a very good question.
The short version is we sort of didn't like Sal said. He showed up with notes on his script, and like he had an idea of, he's grown up his whole life with the refugee crisis
Right.
on the news. Like it's, if you're 10 years old, or he's 11 now, it's omnipresent, right? So he had an idea about it, and his parents had clearly talked to him a bit about it, but we just answered all his questions, sort of told him everything that he would need to know, and talked to him about, the backstory and what it would feel like to be separated from your parents and living in a country that's not your own. And I think the only sort of trick we pulled was he had a very optimistic, childlike imagining of what would happen after the film.
Okay.
And he sort of pitched us on like, oh, if there was a sequel, it would be this, this, and this. And we just let him run with that, and we're like, yeah, that's what this character hopes for. That's what you hope for.
Yeah.
And he said, I was just editing an interview he had done earlier today, and in that he's talking to someone about how difficult it was to play the role, and he talks about how playing sadness, he has to really put himself in the shoes of this character and imagine what it's like to have not seen his parents for so long, and it's like a really hard sort of acting thing to pull off. And then he said, being happy is easy because, if that kid's happy, that would make me happy, because this is, the refugees deserve to be happy. And I'm like, how did we get that lucky? Like he's he's so full of empathy and understanding and very curious. So we just sort of were quite honest about the whole thing with him. And I think in general, like, I'm sure we'll talk about this a bit more later, but we played this film in schools to kids the same age as the character, basically. And like, you don't really have to sugarcoat it or condescend to them. Like they get it, and they can handle how difficult it is, and they come to the subject with, oh yeah, we'll get to it later maybe, but so much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't have to tell Joey. How, if you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids?
5 and 3. I have 2 boys,
3.
5 and 3. Yeah, so kindergarten and nursery school. 2 boys.
They're probably way more intelligent than a lot of adults would
100%.
give them credit for, right?
Without question.
Like,
that's what I've learned every day.
And it's just like that. That's just kind of the thing with like working with a kid on set. Like we were ready to like dumb things down and like talk about things very simply, but actually, even the other kids who were all brilliant to work with,
they were all very good too.
They got it.
Yep.
They got it. And where they didn't get it, there wasn't really anything to get. It was like, oh, we're just playing. We're pushing the boat into the sea. Like,
right.
let's just do it. And sometimes overcomplicating things just gets in the way, doesn't it? And we got
well
said.
And obviously there was trust built with you all in the cast, and I think that shows in that Zach's able to do this and feel so free to give his very, very beautiful and very optimistic sequel. And I love that he did that, because that's going to inform how he plays Musa, and I think that's really wonderful. And I thank you guys for saying empathy a lot. So in my real life, I'm a social worker. I'm an oncology social worker. And we live in a world where empathy's become kind of a dirty word that people don't like. Somehow people have decided that empathy means weakness, which is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's insane. And so I really appreciate and grateful that you all coming from this place of opening up and building empathy. So let's go into the school thing though, because Max, you brought it up. So as if I read correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, the film's going to be played in Refugee Week in schools across the UK starting next year.
So what we've
Yeah.
been doing, and that was basically we with Rashid we work with Counterpoint Art and Refugee Week, and in the UK it happens every June. So we organize. So far we screened it into 3 different schools, and we organize events around it. So Max himself did a little directing course with the kids.
Cool.
We had a poetry class around the film, so around the subject of the film, and also a theater course around the film. And the idea is to every year to do it, and to do it with more schools. So far we just did as a pilot version, do it with 3 schools, and the hope is to do it with a hundreds of schools if possible every year, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Zach came along with us to one of the screenings a few weeks back, and it was so great. The kids were so excited about having him in the room and chatting to him about what it was like being on a film set and all these things that kind of just open up the possibility to talk more about the refugee crisis. And a lot of these kids didn't know it was going on or didn't realize what the refugee crisis actually is, or
Right.
so it was really interesting to get into those conversations with them. And
Yeah, one of the most interesting responses is this boy, who I guess was 13, 14. He said, I knew this was going on, but I didn't know it happened to kids my age too.
Oh wow.
And it's like, yeah, because the way the news presents this stuff, it's just these like dehumanized statistics. It's just how many people showed up today. There's no talk about who these people are or why they're
ages.
doing it, or
Right.
how old they are, or what they've been through before. And one of the other kids was like, how many people are separated from their parents? And then like the stats popped up and we looked and they were like, it's a huge number. And it's sort of disheartening, but also reassuring that 20 minutes of storytelling can get a whole classroom of kids to be talking about this, and hopefully that'll filter off into the rest of society. Maybe their parents will pay attention a bit more, but we'll see.
I hope so, because I'm a firm believer, people think talking to kids is a bad thing. I think you talk to kids and have these conversations now, they're more understanding adults. I've worked in domestic violence for a long time, and one of the things in there is how do you stop a man from abusing his wife and family? Teach them that it's wrong when they're a child, right? Like don't have these conversations, teach what's right and wrong and how to function as an adult. And then we have functional adults. You don't have conversations and don't teach kids things, we don't have educated, thoughtful adults, and then this is where 100%. Empathy goes to die. So again, I think it's getting into the schools is amazing, and all these classes and the director classes, that just it's just opening things up. That must
fun.
Be so fun for you guys.
Yeah, we got to go back to our school where Max and I met recently, and we showed it there. That was one of the pilot places where we showed it for the first time, and it was so nice to go back, and like that was so many years ago now that we were there. But it was it's hopefully it's something that we can set up now, and what we're working on is the fact that hopefully it will just carry on going for several years beyond.
Yeah, and all around the country, so that it's not just sort of cherry picked to people that already agree with us. And part of why we're in this, like, the whole Oscar race and getting famous executive producers, all that like campaign stuff is sort of trying to get the people who are a bit on the fence, those head teachers who are like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that because it's controversial. Go, oh, look, it's got Tamsin Gregg in it, she's famous, we want to do that. And sneaking it in under the radar.
Hey, however you get in, that's how you get in, right? That's
Exactly.
the information is what's important.
Yeah.
So, you made this film. Talk to me a little bit about the process of getting these into festivals and getting it seen, and how much goes on to it, and what percentage of your day are you all thinking about Largo?
Good question.
Charles,
At
what
the
percentage do you spend on Film Freeway?
No, what's funny is the film, we made it 2 years ago, and we still talk every day. We've got a
Yeah.
chat. Sometimes when one of us is like first, I've got like 6 hours of my day where I won't be able to look at my phone, and I'll see I've got like 50 texts from the group and all that stuff. So yeah, but
So
what
true.
helped is working with Slick Films, who exec produced the film. They have that experience because they've done so many short films. We've done all a few short films already, but they have that experience, and they've worked. Their films went to so many festivals. They advised us quite a lot, which was very helpful. But yeah.
Yeah, they've been through the Oscar thing before.
Okay.
They won. When was it? 2018, 2017?
2017, they won an Academy Award for their short film, The Silent Child, which was
And, like Charles
an
said,
incredible.
All
They've
their
been
films
through.
have been to so many festivals. We just sort of followed their lead, and yeah, it is. It's a full-time job on top of the real jobs that we have to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny enough, a short film does not pay very well.
Well, and and that goes into how difficult it is to even watch short films. And when the Oscars come out and the shortlists come out, and people like me who want to see everything that's nominated and in the realm, it's really difficult, and it's very frustrating. And then you see something like this, and it's like, this needs to be seen by people. So thank you for doing the work.
Thank
but what
you.
is it like to get it to be seen?
I mean, look, it was quite a slow start for Largo. I mean, we did the classic, oh, let's go for the big festivals. And it's a sea of short films, and the quality of short film today is so amazing. Max and I have been to a lot of festivals by now this year, and the quality of short film is so high. And it's just, anytime we get into a festival, we feel like it's a huge compliment because of the amount of incredible stuff out there. So that first bit was quite slow because we decided to go for all these big festivals, and then slowly, as soon as we had our world premiere, which was in Indianapolis, at Indie Shorts, we were able to then go and spread out to all types of amazing festivals that are dealing with the subject matter. Like the festival we're going to tomorrow is a humanitarian film festival in Turkey, and it deals specifically with short films of this kind, which is it's fantastic that exists. Cool. And then we were able to go to SCAD a few weeks. I'm just picking a few out now. We were able to go to SCAD, which was a totally different experience. And we experienced this part of the United States that we'd never been to, and sharing the film there was a great really city. Interesting. Yeah,
it's a great city. It's
Love
a great
Savannah.
festival. They treated us like you feel like you get the real red carpet treatment. Excuse the pun.
Well, that's awesome. I love it because short films deserve it.
Yeah, I think they do, and it's really tough because it feels like sometimes it's hard to place short films. You go, where is this going to end up? How is this going to end up going out to the world, and how is it going to have the best possibility of making a difference, especially in this film, in this particular instance. So it's been really, really touching to we've gone out on Omeletto this week just for a very short period of time while the voting's open, because that way lots of people can see it, and it's been really, really touching to just see people comment on it and get letterboxd reviews and like people from around the world commenting, and you're just like, this is amazing that this can happen in this way, and hopefully it will continue to be seen by as many people as possible.
I hope so. Now, if we're recording right now on a Wednesday, and if I'm correct, the Oscar shortlist comes out on Tuesday.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's,
You hear the gulp?
Yeah.
listen, man, I'm rooting for you guys. That's what I'm looking for when that comes out. But you're doing the work, you're doing these festivals. None of it is easy. It's obviously, to do what you're all doing, you clearly are extremely passionate. So, you're out there, you're following the executive producer's orders. That's a beautiful thing. But what's next.
Yeah. It's like it's like as I said before, there's so many amazing short films. Just to be in this position, to be for your consideration, is really a privilege. So let's see what happens, and whatever happens, we know we're going to keep Largo's going to keep going, and it's going to do its thing, whatever happens.
It's nice having the schools thing to look ahead to, irrespective of what happens next week or in the next few months. But and even beyond the schools, last week, was it last week or the week before, we played in Parliament in the UK.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It was so cool, and there are people in the room there watching it that actually can really make a difference. They can influence the way, and the current government in the UK is not doing a good job by any means, but these people know the people to either get them to watch the film, or just they're affected by the film and they nudge them in the right direction. So we're planning to do another one of them, hopefully slightly bigger, get more people in, just sort of build the momentum off that. But yeah, that's what's next, is
keep getting it out there.
Yeah, hoping the film does its job and sort of makes a difference, rather than just giving us some trophies, although they would be nice.
That would also be nice. I'm a very pragmatic person, but I do believe that this movie will affect people who watch it, and I genuinely believe that. And I said to Salvatore in my first email when I was crying talking about my kids, I don't say things I don't mean, because we're all adults, and who wants to do that to each other? So I mean it. So just so I'm clear, to be eligible for the Oscar shortlist, you had to have won a festival, correct?
No.
Oh no.
That's one way of being eligible.
One way to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys did won Savannah, right?
We won an award at Savannah. We've won some awards in South Africa the other day, which was really cool.
And congratulations on all of them, obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
And then the other way you can qualify is by playing in cinemas for enough time.
Okay.
And it's LA, New York. I feel like maybe Atlanta as well now. And if you've played for enough time in theaters,
okay, then you get eligibility that way. Okay.
Which is what we did. And I mean, when you see the films that are in contention this year, like most of them did that.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
And it means you can do that whilst doing all the other stuff and not have to, otherwise there'd be great films, not just talking about us, but like there are some amazing shorts we've seen that haven't won anything, but thankfully are in the mix.
Yeah, listen, the strengths of short films, right? Like just short film as an industry, hopefully that helps, build up. Because again, I think that's why Andrew connected me with you, because my yearly quest at finding short films and complaining about how hard they are. So yeah, so I'm rooting for, you guys are out there doing the work. I'm just getting frustrated.
Hey, listen, we appreciate the frustration, because
we've been there.
Yeah, I mean, look, you think short films are going to be easier than a feature film, because it's way shorter to shoot it, but because there's a very little chance of making any money on these things, it's always harder to fund them. It's always harder to get things done in a very short amount of time. So there's a lot of things that
and a lot of the costs are the same. Like, you need the same amount of people, you need the same amount of gear. The only thing that changes is how many days you're on set, and
with the same amount of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not all shrunk down.
No.
Yeah. Out of interest, let me ask you a question, because you're asking a lot of questions, Joe. Let me ask you one.
Sure.
How many days do you think it took us to shoot Largo? Because there's a lot of misconception about this.
So let me. So it's 18 minutes, right? 18 and change.
Yeah.
18 and change. One, you're in the beach, twice house. 22
Days. I dream of
Oh,
having
we
22 days.
wish. We so wish we had.
Oh man, 3.
So we
4
shot it in
days.
4 days. We shot it in
Wow.
4 days.
That's pretty unbelievable.
And part of the luck we had was that we worked with a second unit as well, so we were able to shoot the stuff out on the sea. We were shooting it at the same time as me and Max were shooting something on the ground with Zach, and then some of the stunts stuff was being shot on the sea at the same time. So that saved us
So you were able to kind of
at least a
so
day.
you did 8 days in 4 days.
We did 5 days in 4 days.
Let's do five or 6. But yeah, I mean, it's still like we wish we had even just an extra 2 days. You know, would have been just time to breathe and experiment a little more. You know, but obviously, like we were stretched. So
even crazier than that, there's 2 whole scenes we shot but then cut.
Really? Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we overextended ourselves even further than that.
I think that's the nature of a passion project, though, right? You do that because you care, and then you see the reality of the situation. And
absolutely.
And sorry,
it's okay. It's okay, honestly.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
It like blows my mind that you were able to do that. How much? So 4 days. How many days of planning ahead of? Okay, this is what we're doing day 1. This is what the second unit's going to do. This is how many months of just Lego moving the chess pieces around to get it.
Yeah.
Making sure dates worked for everybody. This was like a huge thing. You know, obviously when you're working with cast that like, you know, Tamsin or Kevin McNally, you know, they have, you know, very busy schedules. So trying to find those days and then planning how those days would work out so that we could get as much of them as possible in the film, you know.
And then same problem for Rick Joaquim, our DOP. It's just an unbelievably busy guy. He's very in demand. You know, if you see the film, you know why.
Obviously.
Roy Taylor, our stunt coordinator. You know,
he turned up.
He'd just finished shooting Barbie.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he's a friend of Rashid.
In parallel of that, we run a program in collaboration with the theater charity A Good Chance, who basically had displaced creative, so a refugee creative assist some of the roles. So we had someone in the camera department who Rick still works with on other projects. We had a couple of people in the art department. So it was fantastic, really.
Yeah, we had like 40 something people on set.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of pieces that, you know, credit to Charles and Rashid for managing to get everyone in the right place at the right time.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And kudos to you all for managing this and coming out with something so coherent. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, think about you know, the boat. Rashid told this story recently. You know, the boat we actually have. We had 3 boats on set because we were using different boats at different times.
Sure.
And Charles and Rashid went above and beyond the producer roles. Because we had this boat, but then when Roy Taylor, our stunt coordinator, got to set, he said, "Does it float?" And we hadn't really tested the boat.
We tested 2 of
one
the
of
3, not the 3rd.
We hadn't tested the one that was going out to sea, right? So he was just like, "Well, we need to know," but we were all busy doing 100 things. So Charles and Rashid, they took the boat down to the water, and as lovely producers, got in the boat to test it, and there's photographic evidence of them struggling
That's amazing.
with this boat and the waves.
Listen,
so
obviously a huge undertaking. And I know I've said in the beginning, but I say it now. I genuinely am very grateful to have been shared with me, that I could watch it and come talk to you about it.
Thank you.
It
Thank
really
you,
is great. So, you know, as we wrap up, last things you want to? I have a final question, but last things you want to say about Largo? Anything?
No, I think we've said it all. We're if you want to see it, we're until January 1st. We're on Omeletto, which is
YouTube,
great on YouTube, so people can go and see it for free, which is fantastic. And then beyond that, it will be available somewhere else, I'm sure. I think that's. And we can tell you this: we had some news today. Jonathan Pryce has come on as executive producer on Largo, which is big news.
Congratulations!
We're very excited about that. So,
congratulations! That's big. Good for you guys. That's amazing.
Thanks, man.
That's really cool. Everybody knows him, right? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. We've now got 2 actors from Pirates of the Caribbean involved. So
you got me.
Fitting.
A couple more for us to track down, but
So last thing I want to ask, because we talked about the Oscars. You all, Best Picture Cast is an Oscars podcast. We talk about the Oscars and winners, and we have a big episode. You've been to all these festivals. You've been watching Largo, thinking about Largo every day. But just what's your favorite movie that you've seen this year?
Oh,
short or feature?
Dealer's choice.
Let's plug some shorts because all these features get all this attention.
I think it might be Retirement Plan.
Retirement
which is an
Plan.
animated short film that's also in the race for that category now.
And it's animated short. Okay.
We've seen it. I think we've been in the same block of shorts as Retirement Plan 3 times now.
Yeah.
We quite often get put in like an international block in US festivals.
It makes sense.
And it's just great. It's so unique in every possible sense.
Cool.
And it's for your consideration as well. So we've got our fingers crossed for.
And it's both hilarious and heartfelt, which is quite rare. It's also like properly short and sweet.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes.
It's
so
short.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's so good. Are we all doing one, or are you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say we saw this short film for the first time at in Indianapolis at Indie Shorts, and we met the filmmakers Sam and the producer David. Their short film, The Singers. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I've seen The Singers.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of work, and we both watched it when we were in Indianapolis. We looked at each other and we went, "Well, that's amazing. Like, what's the point in trying to make movies anymore? Like that kind of moment." But it is really a great short film.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And they're also lovely guys. That's the other thing.
That's great.
Just when you meet nice people who are making great work, it's very inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really helps to root for good people when you know them, right? And
100%.
Singers, I was lucky enough to see that as well, and beautiful, and I think they do a lot there as well. So
they worked so hard on that, and
there's
the whole story behind it is really cool.
There's one that we saw at Tweetfest, Okay Not Okay, which is just the camera is fixed.
Okay Not Okay is great.
Really fun one. It's hard to do comedy with like drama mixed with a lot of comedy, and this one was really funny and really well done.
Just like
it's well done. We met Pardeep, the director, in Savannah at SCAD, and he is a lovely guy as well. So rooting for lovely people, and
we always want to root for good people, right? All right. So the Retirement Plan, The Singers, and Okay Not Okay. So keep your eyes out, everybody. And I've also seen The Singers, and it is pretty unbelievable as well. So
great work.
And now, but guys, this was awesome. Largo, see it. Talk about it. It is fantastic. I already talked to Andrew Corns this morning. I said, "Oh man, Tuesday morning, we're looking for Largo," and we're laughing. And now that I've met you guys, I'm really going to be watching. So
thank you for rooting for us. That means
you guys are fantastic, super genuine, super nice guys, and
thank you.
I'm very appreciative of your time.
Can I add one thing?
Of course.
If there are any teachers listening, or people that friends and family are teachers, and you think they might want to play the film for their class at school,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the UK.
Yeah,
Okay.
send us
Wherever.
a message on Instagram and we'll work it out because we're happy for it to play anywhere.
All right, perfect. So when we're done, Sal, I'll email you, and if you give me all your Instagrams, I'll put it in the episode description so that everybody
Awesome.
has access to
Thank you
get in
so
touch with
much.
you guys if you need, because again, you guys are great and want to help spread the word as best as we can.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Joey.
Nice,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
having us.
Yeah. So again, I am Joey Rogate. This is 1001 by 1 and Best Picture Cast dual release. Look for Largo. These guys are awesome, and this is who we should be rooting for as film fans. So let's keep it up, and see you next time.